Did you know that the word Easter appears only one time in the entire KJV Bible? This is in Acts 12 verse 4, speaking about the arrest of Simon Peter during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Interestingly, it was transliterated from the Greek word pronounced Pascha, which is Strong Concordance's G3957. This word describes the Passover, the meal, the day, the festival, or the special sacrifices connected with it. In the King James Version of the Bible, it was translated as Passover 28 times, but only one time as Easter. Why was this so? According to the Bible Society, in the New Testament, William Tyndale chose to translate Pascha as Easter. He did it not only in Acts 12 verse 4, but in all 29 places where it was used in the New Testament. It may have been that Tyndale did this because he was already familiar with the celebration of Easter as the Christian replacement of the Hebrew Passover feast. The Bible Society continues by stating that the reviewers and revisers who produced the King James Version changed all the other references of Easter to Passover. Whether they missed this one or had some reason for retaining it is not clear. However, no modern Bible translation uses the word Easter. Instead, all the main modern English Bible translations translate Pascha as Passover. So what was Easter then? If what was originally being referred to in the Bible is actually Passover. Historically, Easter is the English equivalent of Eostre. This was the name of a pagan 8th century Anglo-Saxon goddess of fertility, dawn, and spring, whose festival was celebrated at the time of the spring or vernal equinox, that is March-April each year. She was also known as Ostara. The story goes that Ostara transformed a bird into a hare, and once per year it laid colorful eggs for her festival in spring. This is the origins of the Easter bunny and Easter eggs traditions. According to Bede in his 8th century work, The Reckoning of Time, where he explained that April was called Eostre Monath. Eostre Monath has a name which is now translated Paschal month, and which was once called after a goddess of theirs named Eostre, in whose honor feasts were celebrated in that month. Now they designate that Paschal season by her name, calling the joys of the new rite by the time-honored name of the old observance. So Bede recorded that the time of the Passover was now being called Easter after that pagan fertility goddess Eostre. This was due to the fact that in 325 CE, the First Council of Nicaea under Roman Emperor Constantine determined that Easter should be celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox, which can fall between March 22 and April 25. Therefore, in the first 2 centuries after Christ's crucifixion, Christian church leaders gradually replaced Passover with Easter. They did this by identifying the pagan spring resurrection feast of Eostre or Ostara with the resurrection of Messiah. So, now that you know that Easter is essentially a pagan fertility festival at heart, which was superimposed on the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which were instituted by Yahweh Elohim, will you be celebrating Easter, or will you be commemorating the Passover this year?